feel like I'm in a really weird place in my life right now. And I wouldn't say I'm depressed. I wouldn't say it's due to depression or any sort of like serious mental health. Not at all, sorry. I can literally say that I'm in a very, very good space mentally. However, I feel like I'm starting to connect the dots with who I am and where I came from, and it's having a very, I don't want to use the word detrimental, but I want to use the word a safe word, like not detrimental, but it's having an effect with who I am now, and I'm choosing to unlearn certain patterns, hence why I'm starting this new series called Unlearning. So if you're new here, hi, my name is Sade the Storyteller, aka the baddest, and welcome to the podcast. But we're starting a new series called Unlearning, and I hope you guys enjoy this episode. I hope you guys learn a thing or two about yourself. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the episode. Research shows that many adults don't begin processing childhood trauma until their mid to late 20s, when life slows down enough for the brain to start making connections. So, I feel like growing up, I've developed a lot of I don't want to say bad tendencies, but I want to say bad tendencies. For me personally, maybe other people won't find it as a bad tendency, but for me, I would say they are bad tendencies. These are, I feel like when you're young, you're very impressionable. When you're around certain people, you think certain behaviors are okay. So sometimes when kids are very impressionable, so you adopt and you think those behaviors are okay, but in reality, they're not okay. It's just learned responses. It made sense as a child, but I've realized growing up is costing my adult life in terms of personal relationships and just how I maneuver, communicate, articulate, express, all those things, right? And my childhood, disclaimer, this is not me getting onto anyone in my family or no one like that. I had a hard upbringing, and that's not me sugarcoating it. That's not me making shit up. I've had a very hard childhood, coming from a very dysfunctional environment, very hard household. When I say hard, like instability, there was always something wrong. And I can only speak from my own experience, but growing up, I was a very, okay, cool. How can I put it? Growing up, I talk a lot, right? I talk a lot now. And I used to be told to be quiet, you're talking too much, or I didn't know how to express my emotions. So I was told to either bottle it in, or I just didn't know how to deal with it. So I just kind of kept it to myself. But nobody taught me, it's hard to talk about these things because, of course, when you're healing, it still hurts. I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't hurt. It does hurt, of course. So I'm trying to hold it together. I have to be authentic. I have to be my true self. I have to hold it together. Maybe because I'm, it's a time of the month as well, so I'm a little bit emotional. So I'm trying to hold it together. So, yeah. That's one other thing I do as well. I like to make jokes out of things because I rather joke than actually deal with any sort of pain or trauma that I've been through. Sorry, I got an itchy nose, so I'm going to fling you guys this. Sorry about that. So yeah, I'm going to try to not do too many cuts because I want to be as authentic as possible. Yes, growing up, I was a loudmouth. I spoke a lot, I used to talk a lot, make jokes, be very expressionate, expressionate, is that the word? Just have big expressions. But the thing that I struggled with was my emotions. I didn't know how to regulate my emotions, so I was a very angry kid growing up. Instead of being taught how to regulate my emotions, what I would do is lash out. I would bang out, I would have tantrums, and rather than being taught how to regulate them, I would get scolded for them. So naturally, growing up, I thought, it's okay to act like this in front of people. It's okay to move like this. I used to be why am I so angry? Why am I so yeah, why am I so angry? And when you grow up in an environment where you're not supported, you just learn to kind of deal with it. So I always say to people, like, it's life. When in reality, some things you can't say it's life. You have to kind of be like, wow, you actually went through a lot, and it's not okay that you're kind of having that mindset. So what I naturally do is I suppress my emotions. I used to say this a lot, like the way I cope, yeah. Something traumatic can happen and I push it at the back of my head, and then there'll be one random day, it'll come forward and I'm like, oh shit, like that actually happened? That actually happened. Okay, how do I feel about it? Okay, cool. Like, for instance, I'm not gonna get too much into it, but let's say something happened to me at a very young age, right? And I used to have dreams. And I was like, why does this dream feel like it's actually happened? Why does it feel like it's actually happened? Cool, I hit 21, boom. The dream no longer felt like a dream. It actually felt like, oh wow, this is a memory. So that's one thing I've realized about myself. When something traumatic happens to me, I push at the back of my head and forget about it. That's just how I cope with things. I just don't, rather not talk about them, I push at the back of my head. I would say it's like a coping mechanism for me to just like not address the problem now, just kind of deal with it. Like, okay, cool, this happened, shove it at the back of my head. That's why I like to say a lot, it's life, it's life, it's life. When now I'm starting to realize, like, those feelings or those emotions or memories that I've pushed back are starting to taunt me in my adult life. I'm starting to grow a lot of resentment with a lot of things that's happened in my life. Like, there's a lot of things that I'm not moving past, which is very, very, very frustrating, and it's followed me all the way to my 20s. So imagine these feelings are festered from a very young age. I can't even tell you what age I started to notice these things. I mean, when I hit 20, when I hit 19 to now I'm 25, that's when things started to make sense. But I think it hit me more when I was 21. No, tell a lie. Like 22, I realized that period in my life I had sadness in me, and that's when I started to question, like, I can't be sad all the time. There's something wrong, like something's bothering me. Like, I know I've been through so much, and I'm sorry, I've been through a lot. Like, I'm a broken person, and I think that's okay for me to say, because at the end of the day, healing is not linear. Healing, you're gonna be healing for the rest of your life. So I can't sit here and be like, yeah, I'm on a healing journey, but who said that the healing is going to end in 1 year? No, mate, the healing is going to be forever. So there's going to be days where you have minor setbacks and you're like, oh, you know what? This is really hard. Like, I'm back in that dark place again. But then you have to realize, like, okay, past tense, this happened, time ago. Sorry, my cat is so jarring. Sorry about that. My cat he's being really jarring. He's being really jarring. But I want to share some facts with you. Children who grow up in an emotionally unsupported or chaotic home often develop emotional suppression, where they learn to shut feelings down rather than expressing them. Over time, this becomes automatic. It stops feeling like a choice and it becomes who you are. So that's what I did growing up. I didn't know how to deal with my emotions. When I look back at my younger self, I wouldn't really say I was that confident person. I don't want to talk on behalf of my sister. I have to talk on myself because we're twins as well. So I can't really, although we had the same experience, I can't really talk about hers. I can only speak about my own. But growing up, I don't want to say I was the most confident person. I can always remember me being shy and had like a very anxious attachment style. Like, I needed, like, let's say for instance, my brother was like my safety blanket when he would drop me to all these classes and stuff. I'm like, please, I need you here, please don't leave me. I was really shy. I didn't have no confidence in me, and I feel like when you're in a certain environment where they're knocking you down, they're knocking your confidence, they're belittling you, they're talking very low of you, naturally you become those things. You quote unquote become those things because you think that's what you are, right? And I'm not gonna lie to you, whenever, like, I think I've said this before, whenever someone gives me a compliment or someone says something positive, I question it. I'm like, I don't think you're being genuine right now. I feel like you're bullshitting me. And that's crazy to say, especially, like I said, if you've come from an environment where uplifting, positive affirmations, positive speaking life in yourself, no one's ever spoken life to you. All you know is flipping negativity and horrible words. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I've been called everything out of the book, mate. I've been called everything out of the book. So it's sometimes hard for me to see if someone's being genuine or not. But obviously at this age now, I know when someone's bullshitting and when someone's not. But this year, I'm not gonna lie to you. Actually, no, pause. Not this year. Last year, I went through so much trials and tribulations that it's actually rewired my brain. Even down to the things that I've been through growing up, it's actually rewired my brain. So now I feel like I developed, my sister told me this actually, I've developed an avoidant attachment style. I'm gonna put a definition of what avoidant attachment style is. And what I notice, and people like to say I'm a flaky friend because of these things, but I think that's just how I would cope with things. So like, let's say for example, I made it known to people growing up that I grudge. Like, I can grudge until you're dead. I used to say that. I'm sorry to be very morbid, but that's what I would do. Like, I used to say that, like, I will grudge until you're dead. Like, if you've wronged me, I would hold it in, and I didn't give a damn. Like, there was one girl in school, I hated that bitch, and I held it in. Like, I was grudging. I'm someone that if you've wronged me so bad, rather than having a conversation, I'll either block you, remove you, or stop talking to you completely, or just shut off my phone and shut off the world. That's why sometimes I go on like mini hiatus when I feel like someone's battered me up, or like they've insulted me, or they've disrespected me. And I've realized, yeah, it may work for me as a coping mechanism, but I feel like it is costing me relationships outside of it. When I say relationship, friendships and stuff like that, because they may not know what's wrong with me, and I'm just shutting everyone out because sometimes I have this mindset of everybody hates me, or the world is against me, or I just can't deal with things right now. So the best thing I can do is go MIA. And a lot of people pull me up on it. Like, say for example on Snapchat, they're like, oh, you've deactivated Snapchat again. I'm like, guys, this is how I cope. Like, if I don't want to talk to anyone, if I want to isolate myself, just to make sure I'm in a good place and regroup and readjust my nervous system, I have to take that mental break, or I have to kind of isolate myself. It's always worked for me, but people don't understand it, but that's fine. I feel like there's people have different coping mechanisms, and I don't want to say unfortunately, but I want to say unfortunate for me, the coping mechanism that I do is very avoidant. And I've noticed that I've become a very blunt person. I'm just saying it how it is now, because when you grew up being a people pleaser, you tend to overcompensate. You tend to overcompensate, and you tend to put people's feelings above your own and kind of sugarcoat it and beat around the bush. Now I feel like, because I've done that for a big chunk of my life, I'm at a point where I'm like, I'm actually going to hold you accountable. And I feel like you need to hold people accountable when it's accounted for. You have to hold people accountable, especially if it comes to, if they've insulted you and you've hurt them, if they've hurt you. I think I'm at the stage where my sister always tells me like, oh, sometimes you need to leave people how they are. I don't know, I'm in this place where I have to address when your behavior is ridiculous. I have to, because in my life, people have gotten away with saying anything to me, treating me anyhow, and I've let them, and I feel like it's made me become the person that I am. I'm quite blunt. I can be rude. Because I was a people pleaser. I was sparing people's feelings. I was being nice. I was always emotional. I'm not going to say I'm not emotional now, but I am emotional. But emotional in the sense of like, I rather diss you than actually have you see me weak or cry. Like, crying is not weakness. It's okay to cry, but I'm tired of crying over people that serve me nothing. Like, I was crying over some bums. Like, I was crying over people that don't serve me anything, and I won't waste my time. I will not waste my time with people that are just low right dirty. No, absolutely not. So yeah, I'm in a stage where I'm just really blunt. I'm really just saying it how it is, because like I said, in life sometimes you have to actually take control of your life. This is your life. You have to actually take control of your life. Like, you cannot let people walk all over you, especially if you've come from hardship. And unfortunately for me, I've come from hardship. Growing up, some people may not know this, but I've done counseling or therapy for the longest. Like, in high school, I did anger management. In college, I did anger management. I think in high school, I did counseling as well. College, I just did anger management. Like, I remember they drew out like some big poster, and they started from like when I was young to all the way here, and she would ask me, where did this anger stem from? And I would be like, my dad. I'll be like, oh yeah, this anger stems from my dad. Like, I just hate my dad. Mate, I don't like the geezer in it. So I was like, yeah, it stemmed from my dad. And I'm laughing, yeah, because that's so stupid, because that's not, like, he plays a role in how I feel. I'm not gonna lie to you, he does. Like, my dad's never been in my life. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, my daddy, I got daddy issues, because I don't actually think I have daddy issues when I've been so used to one parent in my house. Like, I'm not gonna, like, cling on to that narrative of, yeah, daddy issues. Like, the man, like, I respect you, you know, I respect your decisions. You chose not to be a father. I can't hold you accountable for that. You made your bed and you're lying in it, big man, and I hope you're having a great life, okay? But yeah, so with the anger, my nose is really itchy. I don't want to, sorry guys, like, I'm so sorry. Yeah, with the anger, it's like I said, it stems from when I was younger and all the trauma that I went through. But yeah, I used to say it's my dad and this and that, but I guess when I was younger, I didn't understand trauma. I didn't understand the severity of traumas I had. Like, you know, I got a lot of traumas. Childhood trauma, I got friendship trauma, I got sexual assault trauma. Like, I've been through a lot in life, and I'm trying my best to be the best version of myself. Yeah, like, I'm trying to be the best version of myself, and it's hard to be the best version of yourself if you have these resentments, you have these feelings, you have this resentment in your chest. And I feel like if you didn't grow up a certain way, or the way I did, you're not going to get over resentment so easy. Like, there's a lot of people that come from, I don't want to say perfect households, but let's say the traditional household. Mom, dad, healthy dynamic, healthy boundary. Some people can't relate to where what I've come from. Like, I have a lot of friends that have stable dynamics. I didn't have a stable dynamics. That's why sometimes I feel quite anxious, because I'm like, this might be a temporary thing, or this and that. So I used to need a lot of reassurance. Like, oh, it's fine. Like, even in my relationship, I had an anxious attachment style where I would always be like to that person, oh, you're gonna leave me. And he'll be like, no, I'm not gonna leave you. I promise I'm not gonna leave you. Bitch, you left me, ho! You left me. Jokes aside. But yeah, I had an anxious attachment style, but now I'd say I'm an avoidant. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm just in this stage where I'm like, if you're not really necessarily serving me anything, naturally, I'm not gonna lie, I'm just gonna have to fling you this way, because I don't have time for that. Like, I'm protecting myself, but I feel like the way I'm protecting myself, some people may not like it. I love it, because I never thought I'd see this version of myself. I never thought I'd be so brave and be so, like, quick, defend yourself. I don't care what anyone says. Some people can say, you know, your approach is aggressive, or I feel like the people that say it's aggressive, they're the ones that are intimidated by me. And I'm not gonna lie to you, if you're intimidated, that's fine, because I feel like I'm outspoken. I just say it how it is. And in life, you can't sugarcoat everything for people. I don't care if I'm repeating myself. Sugarcoat a lot of things for people. You need to hold people accountable when they're being a prick. There's a lot of people in this world that they're just a prick. And you have to hold them accountable. And unfortunately, that's what I'm doing. You might as well call me the bailiff. I'm catching you. I'm taking your belongings. And that's about it, big man. Like, yeah, call me the bailiff. I feel like like I said, it's okay to hold people accountable and stuff like that. Sometimes I feel like I'm happy, or like the happiest person in the room, but I know deep down inside that I have sadness. Like, I'm happy, outside people may see happiness, but if you're in tune with yourself, mind, body, and soul, you can see there's sadness in me. And I think you can live with both, but what I'm doing for myself is that I don't want to live with both. I want to just be happy. And I know that it's not you can't be a perfect human. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my words. I know you can't be a perfect human being, but I want to be able to be happy. So what I've decided to do is get back into therapy. Yes, I'm going back to therapy. Some people may think, oh, why are you going back to therapy? Like, you're doing so well. I'm not, like I said, I'm not depressed. It's nothing to do with mental. It's all to do with trauma. I feel like when you've been through so much and you want to become, you want to become this person. So I'm trying to hide away from being emotional. Hold on. My undies are hanging out my jaw. Hold on. Yeah, so I don't want to be vulnerable in this like this, yeah, but I feel like when you want to become the best person, best version of yourself, I feel like sometimes you need to go back to therapy and deal with that. Like, I feel like they need to just break down my traumas, right? Break down who I am as a person and tell me what I need to do to become the best version of myself. Yes, I'm journaling. Yes, I'm saying positive affirmation, but I feel like that can only do so much. And I didn't want to go back to therapy, but I have to go back to therapy. I'm forcing myself to go back because I know there's a lot of taboo and stigma around therapy. A lot of people are against it, but when you've grown up in a dynamic that's very dysfunctional, very negative, and it's rewired your brain chemistry as a whole, I'm telling you now, I can't speak for everyone, but some people, you're gonna grow up to be a very effed up person if you don't deal with traumas, or if you don't deal with certain things that's happened to you in the past. And you can't be like me and just suppress it in your head, and then you get to one day, let's say you're 30, you're like, oh my gosh, this actually happened to me. And now you're a sad person, you're bitter, you're hating everyone. You can't at some point you can't fling the blame to everyone else. You have to look at yourself and be like, okay, we understand now, we get it. You've been through this. What are you gonna do to change that chemistry in your brain? So I'm like, yes, therapy is needed. Again, this time around I'm gonna do it longer because I want to be the best version of myself. And this is why I'm trying to unlearn certain tendencies. That's why I've chosen to forgive those that's hurt me, because at the end of the day, these people that have hurt me, they're not in my life. So if you're not in my life, why am I still letting the burdens of your hurt still taunt me? Why? You're not in my life. Like, that's to me, that's giving spiritual welfare, and I don't need that. So yes, I've forgiven those that's hurt me and made me who I am. Thank you for making me who I am, because I freaking love this girl. 100%, I love this girl. That's one thing I've said. I am loving this person that I'm becoming. So thank you. I forgive you. But moving forward, I don't need you in my life. I don't want to encounter people like you. So let me do the necessary steps to get over these things, because I feel like there's a barrier right now. And in order for me to cross that threshold and start living life correctly, is me actually going back to therapy and doing the necessary exercises and using the necessary tools to help me grow as a person and help me change my way of thinking and just be able to support myself. Because I do feel like when you have traumas, it's very scary, the outcome of it. Like, when you have traumas, you don't know who you're going to become long term, and you don't want it to become a generational thing where, let's say, it starts from you, your kids feel it, your kids' kids feel it, your kids' feel it, and it's a generational curse. So if you want to be a better person in your life, you need to break that curse and actually wear your big girl panties and flipping go to therapy, mate. Go to therapy. Have that uncomfortable conversation. Hey, we're all gonna have to have that conversation. You may not want to hear it, or you may not want to talk about it, but for you to be a better person, or for you to move on in life, you need to have those uncomfortable conversations. If that's not with a therapist, it's with your mom, it's with your dad, it's with whoever has hurt you in life. I think it's okay to have an uncomfortable conversation so you can hold them accountable. Even if they don't remember necessarily, for your own closure and for your own peace, still have that conversation so you can feel like, you know what? I can move on because you've acknowledged the hurt that you've done. I've had uncomfortable conversations with, my sister. She's told me things that I've hurt her and stuff like that. I couldn't believe it, I couldn't believe it. But I said to myself, no, I've hurt the one person that I truly love, and I have to take accountability, and I apologize for that, and I feel like our relationship is better than ever. If I didn't take accountability and tell her how I feel or how she feels, we wouldn't be where we are now. So I think if you care about the people in your life, mom, dad, whoever, and you want to make things work, have that conversation. But another thing I want to reiterate as well, if you know no change is going to come out of that, do not force yourself to stay in that dynamic or relationship. It's okay to tether that. Yes, I'm a big advocate of cutting family members and cutting friends off when they can't see where they've gone wrong or they can't take accountability. I am a big advocate. I don't live by family. That word family doesn't stick with me at all. Family, I don't stick by that. I tell my family, I don't stick by that. Because if you've wronged me, if you've disrespected me, what are we gonna say? I don't like when people are saying, oh, that's your dad or that's your family, of course you need to, bygones be bad. No, I don't live by that. Your family can still wrong you and make you feel like shit. Still cut them off. At the end of the day, God gave you one life, and I'm gonna say in every episode, God gave you one life. And why are you taking your life for granted and still keeping these people in your life? I don't think people understand how much human beings can change your life, can change your whole life path. The wrong human being staying in your life can genuinely change your life path. So why would you keep them in your life? Why? Because it's your family? Please, you can make your own family. Your friends can become your family. It's true. I probably have cousins that's my mom's friends. My mom's friends' kids. I don't talk to all my family members because I cut them bitches off. Because I don't need them in my life. You don't serve me nothing. I don't care. I'm at this age where I'm writing my own book. I'm rewriting my story in my own life. And if I want certain people out of my life, I'm getting the rubber and I'm rubbing your name out of my life. What the hell? Who are you gonna tell me? Who are you to tell me to keep you there? Give me 5 reasons as to why I should keep you in my life. Oh, okay. You have none. So, yeah, this is the reason why I'm starting this unlearning journey, because I want to be as honest with you as possible, and I want to help people to acknowledge, yes, you've been through a lot, but this doesn't make you who you are. This is not your story. Yes, it's your story, but it's just a chapter. Because once you flip the next page in the book, it's a new chapter. It's not going to say the same things it said in the previous chapter. That chapter's done now. You can still move forward, even if you're starting to get at 25, 30, 35, 40. Hey! Who told you there's a time limit? There's no time limit to start again. Start again. Don't let your past hinder you. That is not you anymore. You can still become the person that you want to become. Me, I'm living proof of it. Although I've been through so much, I know there's still things that I'm dealing with. However, I cannot let it taint this new version of myself. I'm no longer the same person that I was before. Absolutely not. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I really enjoyed being very passionate with you guys and being very transparent. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Let's kiss. Do you want to kiss? You want to kiss me? Sorry, bye.